Let's go about three things philosophically. One is how can you be the best husband? How can you be the best football player? And how can you be the best in English language teaching? Right? So when you talk about something special, you have to understand it deeply. So to become a very good teacher, what you can do is you use philosophy. Here, let's go about three things. So this is the football, and the best player Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi, and the best teacher 1, 2, 3, right? And the best husband here. So let's play a game. Here you see the teacher needs to play with English, and English is the football. What you have to do is you have to be able to play football properly. Then you can be the best teacher. You have students in your class and you're teaching English. You have to play a very important role with the football. Suppose you are in the field, there are learners around you, and you are showing the acrobatic, the strategies, the techniques of playing football, right? So the same way you have to be very good in playing football. You have to be very good in English. If you know very good English, you can play games with your students and they will enjoy, they will learn a lot, right? So you have to be a philosopher, you have to be a voracious reader, you have to be a researcher, then you can be the best teacher. The thing is that most of the teaching that we see is traditional. Shows, grammars and all this stuff. No, it doesn't work. Suppose you are in America, how can you pick up the language? The same way you have to pick up the language with the teachers. The teacher will be talking in English, will be playing with the students in English, and will demonstrate some necessary things that are necessary to learn English. Alright, so this is the football, and the husband is the man who plays the football. He's playing football and it's something with the wife. So he is football, his wife is the football. So when you look at a football, it's very small. So it doesn't necessarily mean that your wife is small. What happens is that your wife is short, not so heavy, and if you are very good in techniques, then you can play the football. You can play with the wife and the wife will enjoy the most. So the main purpose for this lesson is to teach English and to make teachers understand how they can teach English properly. So the number one thing is that your English must be very good. Look at China, look at Japan, especially in China. If you want to be an English teacher, there is a condition, you have to be a native speaker. Even when you are not a native speaker, you have to be very good in English. When a native teacher talks to students, plays with them, the students automatically pick up the language. But unfortunately, most of the teachers here in Bangladesh, they are not good in English. Their English is not good. Their written English is not bad, but their speaking English, their pronunciation, their fluency, all these things lag a lot behind. So the most important lesson that I'm going to show is that your English must be like an English native. Your language is close to the first language, the mother tongue, right? And in terms of husband and wife, as I said, your wife may not be so heavy, may not be so tall, may not be so, kind of obese like that. Then the husband, if he knows the technique, he can play the football. The smaller the football is, the husband can play better. Similarly, the less heavy the wife is, he can play better, right? So don't take it otherwise. I'm showing this because even when a girl is short, doesn't much matter. Even when a girl is tall, doesn't much matter. What is important is that the husband is tall. That's what a wife thinks does matter. right? So a husband is compared to English and wife is compared to football, and he has to be very adept at playing the football. It doesn't necessarily mean that the husband will beat. No, the husband will not kick the wife. The husband will just play technically, acrobatically with the football, with the wife, right? So once again, so to become a good English teacher, you have to be a philosopher, you have to be a researcher, you have to be a voracious reader, and at the same time, you have to think over how you can improve your teaching, how you can deal with it. When you play with a boy, with a number of students, if you can't play with English, your English must be very much like your mother tongue. Kind of, you can speak English subconsciously. You speak your Bangla mother tongue subconsciously. Similarly, you have to speak English subconsciously. And you need to have good accent. It's good because you're a teacher. Students may not pick up the accent, they may not be able to speak, it doesn't much matter. The thing is that when they know the pronunciation properly, they can be more intelligible to the listeners. So for listening skill, pronunciation is important, because some words we do not pronounce the same way, and then what happens when English speaking people pronounce those words, we can't understand. The same thing has happened. Long ago I was with American and he said bakar. Actually it is a Bangla word, but he said in a way I thought that he was telling something else, and then I understood that he was mentioning bekar. Actually he said bakar, but actually he wanted to say bekar. He, after going back to America, he is going to be a bakar, he says. Actually bekar, unemployed. So when you find someone pronouncing Bangla in a way you can't understand, even when your mother tongue is Bangla. Similarly, you have to have some eligibility, some good sense of pronunciation is also necessary. But if you do not pronounce like American, like British, doesn't much matter. But the thing is that as a teacher, if you know, this is good. At the same time, they can also pick up the pronunciation, pick up the language. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.